Sure, might as well get this started. And first things first, double check that you update and show the correct thing. You do. Good, get out of the way. Send that, and excuse you, that. Oh. I guess I can keep you open in case that gets a response. Oh, right. I didn't open all of my things. I should have, but I didn't. I had some of them ready. Now you're there. And calculator. Because we will do the math. But everything is in place. So do that. And let's, oh, god damn it. Or you could do that. Fine. Be that way. Well, I don't think we're going until they're ready. You're gonna hit it first, and then there's gonna be a bit of a gap until no, actually 57 and change. That's actually pretty close. You are 57,579, whilst you $59,130. Yeah, not that different. But I am going to test the thing when she is ready. So the 57 and change is 78 Murphys to get to the closest one. then there will be science. Yeah. Okay. Well, might as well get to it. Oh, you are not layered correctly. There. If we're going until you're leveling, we might as well be using your magic. Oh, perfect. Right. I still haven't had you rest. Because you weren't the one leveling. That's not what I wanted. Who would be going next? The three of you, so, yeah. Oh, perfect. You get out of the way. You, and then a bunch of this. And I've already eaten. I've taken my meds. I have 3 different beverages, including fresh mocha, that I want to drink while it's still hot. Well, while it's still warm. Hot means I will just hurt myself. It is a drinkable level of hot. I did not burn myself, so that's good. The plan, the sciencing, that may fail abysmally, is get that Lord to 12th level, swap her out for that thief. See how a Murphying with thief and 2 clerics will go, and if that's actually viable versus having to keep her in for part of, but not all of, 13th level before she changes class. Cause no, that I don't want to waste all that overflow XP, but I'm also not waiting until she's 13th level, which is why I want to know as soon as she hits 12 and gets rotated out, if I have a viable option as a mid-level thief who will level quicker, but a thief and 2 clerics. I know 3 clerics can't do the job efficiently enough. I've been paying attention enough to know that they can't do the job. and I don't know how a thief will do. They should be a better secondary combatant than a cleric. Oh, god damn it. Not you. But today is the solstice, the shortest day of the year. There was a windstorm a few days ago that knocked out power to most of my state, and apparently had flooding come along with it, because it was wind and rain, which is better than wind and snow because I was out of power for 24 hours. There are people still out. So, if it had been colder, that would be worse for they don't have heat. Folks. There's a food safety issue there regardless. Nothing in my fridge or freezer got to concerning levels of warmed or thawed in 24 hours of that box not opening. People whose power have been out for longer and who may have not had an option in whether or not they opened that box to get something out of it to eat or drink. Are probably not so lucky. I tried to sleep through it, because there wasn't much else I could do. I had been awake for a few hours when the power went out. Curled up under the covers, went back to sleep, woke up. Oh, it's still not back. Well, shit. Tried to find things to do to keep me occupied without light or internet. Not that I have much in the way of options there. Slept more. Yeah. 24 hours for me. Some people have been out for 2+ days. I saw, I think it was a Discord server, folks were talking about nasty winds and rains in the UK today. I wonder if it's a different storm or the one we had here in New England. migrated over. That's what made me think of it now, was I saw people talking about it. Or talking about what's going on there, and it made me wonder that and made me think more about what's still being recovered from in my state. And yes, it has occurred to me that I should have named the Lord CLMX, because I know what she is currently, I just don't know what she's going to end up as, and that's what those X's are. I know where you're going, just not where you're ending up. So, that's fine. I'm trying to address something on the side. Nothing I'm capable of actually doing anything other than responding to. Not going to fail to respond when a friend says they're going to the ER. So. I wouldn't call this exciting, but there is certainly grinding happening. Hi. Shall I explain to you the shit show that is the naming convention? Well, call it a shit show, but there is a deliberate choice there. Okay, so the first one should be C capital L MX, because she was a cleric, she's currently a lord. She's going to be a mage after, because she can get all the spells, so she's going to, and then the X's, I don't know where they're ending up. The 3 capital C's are currently clerics, and then they will be mages, and then they will be whatever. The 2 in the back have already gone through all of cleric. They are currently 12th level mages, so they just got to finish the level they're on, and then they will be something else. They will likely end up front row fighters because I won't have any. So one may end up a lord, the other may end up as a samurai, but yeah. And then the number is just which one of them they are because they were in groups. And the thing currently, yes. I had more than that. Back when the 2 in the back were clerics. But yeah, currently the 1. And that is my current point of contention is when she gets to 12, I don't want to have to get her through 13 as a lord and how many experience that will take before I change her class. But the only option I have to put in her place is a thief, who is, I suspect, a better secondary combatant than a cleric of the equivalent level, but I don't think it's gonna work. I'm going to test it, but I don't think it's gonna work. I've been paying attention to how much the clerics are and aren't doing, and 3 clerics can't do it. Not efficiently or effectively enough to make it work. But I'm going to give the thief a chance to fail at that job, because that's what I expect to happen, is failing at that job. But I want to test it to be sure, because by the time someone else is ready to move into the front row and actually do that job, this one will be halfway through making the progress to get to 13th level, and I am not spending the hundreds of thousands of experience to finish that job, but I hate wasting all the overflow XP because it just disappears. You don't get to keep it. Which is why as soon as she hits 12, I want to test it and confirm the disappointing reality that, I need at least one proper fighter type in the front, or this likely ain't gonna work. My starting configuration had, well, it had 3 neutral characters, which was the problem because I can't give all of them the magic that I want. Which is why I made those 3 new, currently clerics CMXs. It means I ended up with 3 folks for a single role. The mage that was already a mage and could go into thief. I did this in some intervening time, just because. But yeah, the 3 neutral characters. Well, 2 of them started out as samurai. Then I decided, you know what, I'm going to move you to mage so you can get those spells more efficiently, and then the mage who is already done with that can be a samurai, because she's already got the spells, and I need somebody in the front row. That one is now a thief, and the 2 that were samurai still need to get through all their mage spells, and then they can be backup thieves, essentially. Because I want as many party members as possible to have all the spells, just in case. But the one that's going to be a thief, because the alignment change doesn't work the way it would if this were the NES one, means one of them can't. Well, I mean, if they were all evil and I was okay with, well, no. If I were willing to sacrifice having lords and samurai, I could just go with an entirely evil party, and everybody could have all the spells, and then the fighter types could just be fighters. But no. I am stubborn about particular things that have made this more complicated for myself. I can blame Jim for asking me to play the game. I can't blame him for my own pernickettiness. I've met myself. I have to live with myself. I know what I'm like. Some of this is my own fault. And even with the, well, I back up my saves, so I'm less likely to have the, oops, lost one, depending on how much gameplay I'm willing to lose to preserve the party. Having backups isn't a bad idea, because shit happens. This is Wizardry. So, I would like to try and have as many people as possible have the cleric spells as well. Means that I will end up with extras. I mean, it was a long time ago in either case, so, you know. And I wasn't there to have a personal opinion on the situation. But it is funny to be the middleman. So, to go about this a little backwards, hi, how are you doing? Short, fat, doing this. I have power. Mine was out for like 24 hours. Other parts of the state are still out. So, you know, it could be worse. I have finished my mocha while it was still warm. I did the math before we set out, and the one who is closest to leveling is that current lord. That is, the point of complication for me at the moment. And she needed 78 Murphys, because of course I do my math in terms of how many Murphys, because how else am I gonna fucking measure it? You understand. You, why not? That's still 41,000 XP away, so it'll take a while. Then couple thousand behind. And then there's that gap that I don't think I'm going to sit here and do today. But yeah, they... You failed to get one of your 6th level spells. And you need to get all your 7th. But they will. If nothing else, Chronomancy means they will get their spells at 13th, because I am not fucking grinding for a whole nother level to get it in 2. No. They gotta get it in 1. And then they get to change class. I ain't waiting. But yeah. That's how this part's going. I haven't noticed, and I don't think you have it posted anywhere. Do you actually have a schedule that you follow at all with when you stream, or is it more just a, I happen to be available now, so I'm gonna do it now? Okay. You get back out of the way. Right. Right. Some, but not all, folks that I follow in varying capacities have day jobs that they're scheduling their streaming around. Others have just seem to schedule their other things around their streaming. I've seen a bunch of different people do it a bunch of different ways, so. Not much of anything I do has a schedule other than I'm awake to do it. The gaming videos happen daily, with very rare exception and certainly not intentional ones, and have for years. But that's more of a, I'm going to play video games anyway, and it's to give me a sense of routine of something that I'm doing consistently. Because I've been disabled since 2004. I don't work. I've been out of school since... Fuck, when did I finish school? 2015? I've been up through grad school. Had to get back to that late, though. Not that I'm doing anything with my degrees. They're just expensive pieces of paper. But yeah, I don't have any structure, so I do the gaming videos just to give myself something to do. And the streaming is well, I'm awake. I want to make progress on shit. And in this case, I'm recording it because Jim asked me to play, so I'm sharing the whole thing. The whole process. And these grinding sessions are longer than I'm willing to make a video. Because I don't have any more of the map of the first floor to do. I don't have a whole lot to, unless I'm rehashing things I've already said, other things to talk about the plan. So it's just sitting here and doing this. And if I don't have somebody to talk to, most of that, my mic's going to be off and out of the way, and I'm going to be, like, doing neck and shoulder stretches while I intermittently hit Control and Enter for who knows how long. So, hence the streaming of these instead of, sitting and doing this with podcasts and catching up on YouTube videos and other people's streams on the side. Which is what I would do if this were just for myself instead of for Jim. It is possible, I guess, that having the recorded context of just how long this takes to go through would be useful information for people that aren't like us and already know. But I don't expect anyone, except Jim is enough of a masochist to actually sit and listen to them, even at double time in the background. as you can guess, because you have the requisite knowledge to do so, until they are down to, well, enough hit points that Murphy needs to not hit them again, the Mahdi waits. I've got lots of them available. But they wait until I actually need them. Because he only ever hits for 2. It does make it very clear when I actually need to. I mean, at this point, literally everyone in the party can cast it. I am trying to use up the magic of the people who will be resting anyway, because they're going to be leveling. So, like, the 2 in the back, I'm trying not to use theirs, just because it's going to be a while. Might as well use up the supply of the people who are going to have it refreshed anyway. Of course, the lords are already out of Meporfix, so... With these 3 clerics in the middle, unlike the first set of people, I have done no chronomancy in trying to get them to get a reasonable number of hit points per level. I'm curious to see how that works out, but once they get to 13 and get all their spells, and that's the only chronomancy I'm going to do for them with their first and second classes, is did you get all your spells on time? I'm curious to see where they end up with that. They will get more chances to get hit points after. But the time and frustration from how long it takes to do chronomancy in this versus save and load state in NES, that no, I'm not going to put myself through that. Not in places where I don't need to. Most of the time spent with that in this is just waiting for the game to load again. And it doesn't give me the opportunity for the degree of nuance. Yeah, between sessions I back up all my saves to an alternate location, so that should shit go very wrong, they're there. And when level chronomancy gets involved again, I get to have those backups copied and then pasted over and over and over again, and loading over and over and over again, and I'm putting that off. There are better ways to spend my mental energy. Murphying when I won't. The idea of Murphying without someone who can do that hits 3 times for 25. Yeah. While the clerics can sometimes counteract the regen. Sometimes. I don't expect it will go well. If the thief were higher level, maybe. I don't know how that pans out. I don't know how they look as secondary combatants as they level. Emphasis on secondary. I mean, before I added the extras in, and I had my 2 samurai in front, this current mage was the other one in front, which is why she has some kills accumulated. Because... yeah, and yet surprise rounds happen. It's like, bitch, no. Nobody here is surprised at what's going on at this point. And yet he does his little curtsiest shit at the beginning and end every time. It's like, I mean, you do you, but why are you holding on to the formality at this point? We're just gonna kick your ass again. Yeah. And I don't know if it was just that I hadn't been looking at the right part of the screen. But it took me a while to notice that his feet are actually clipped through the floor in that opening bit. His feet aren't actually on the ground until later. I was surprised that I hadn't noticed it sooner when I finally did. Because it's a, oh, this isn't a Bethesda game. Why are you clipping through the floor? Yeah, see, he's buried to the ankle. And I just didn't notice for a while. See? If you're not looking to notice it, it just doesn't occur to you that that's there. Which is why it stood out that, how did I... Oh, okay. I guess that's a thing. I've been standing here for many hours and failed to... Okay. Sure, why not? But as soon as you notice it, you can't unsee it. Boy's buried to the ankle until the fight starts. If Murphy's didn't populate in other parts of the maze, I would say that's what keeps him in place here. But we know that's not true. Yeah, no, you've killed more of him than I have. Probably. It's an easy thing to miss. Yeah, during a previous grinding session, not a stream, but just a session, I actually sat and watched the numbers on the side in the fight and kept track of how much damage Murphy would have had just from the clerics at the point where he kicked off, subtracting out for the regen, and oh, you're dead, but you would have only had like 8 hit points of actual damage. So I have kept track of the math to know that the clerics on their own can't do the job. It would be nice if they could, but not reliably. Certainly not efficiently enough to make it worth the time and effort. Like, they can hit and kill other things. Not that we've seen a lot of other things. It went faster when there were 2 of them. 2 samurai, of course, dispatch a Murphy much faster than 1 lord. With whatever pittance of help the clerics managed to provide. Because they do more than nothing, but not enough. You... That's not what I want to be casting. That does enough. Forget. I know you have it. We're actually not there yet. We'll get them next level. They had made progress. But yeah, looking at the... It should have occurred to me that no, they get that at 11. They're actually not there yet. Either way, It's, well, actually, not either way, if that's the case. I could just heal now, but meh. The Lord still has a couple of castings left. I know she's out of Moporfix, which is 4th level? 4th level. She's not out of Maddie's yet. But she's also not casting in combat. She has a job to do. The mages could cast it, but I don't want to use up their magic when they still have so long to go before they're going to be leveling. Oh, you probably have a better answer to this than I do. At what point does the aging actually start to add up and matter? Because they're going to have extra classes than they otherwise would have, and even the stables add a week on, which adds up. So I'm curious where that line of it actually matters now is. If you know. And they had that option of the less confusing Vim. No, it's not. Giving me an age versus giving me Vim doesn't give me any more information. So, I don't know your take on that one, but that was mine. Which is why they have ages. So I should be fine. And does... I figure aging fucks with your stats. But that also has never been entirely clear. I'd figure it would hit Vitality first. The one that you run out, you're dead. So, that's what I would expect there. And other things along with it. Well, other physical stats, not the mental ones. goes left. Oh, that's fine. Got yet another replacement that you're leveling, or something else? Alas, poor Burplex. Yeah, getting the quick with a fighter, quick starting hit points matters. Fair. Yeah. I mean, they can't all be Kai, but, you know, they can be slightly less squishy. Hi, Zorb. Kai's absurd in an impressive way, just because of how much time and effort that had to have taken. How are things going for you, Zorb? On this, the shortest day of the year. So I should ask again then, how are you doing on this, the shortest day of the year? Other than, well, eaten by birds is not what we expected. Oh. Well, I can send you digital hugs. And there's still enough straw and still a few days left, so burning could still happen. Though I wonder if potential arsonists are curious about just how much damage the birds will do and are leaving her alone. Hugs are good. It's a little weird to me that your calendar records the solstice on a different day. I didn't expect that. Yeah, and it's the 21st on my calendar. On every calendar I would have access to. I'm not gonna ask you to share details in the chat. I mean, you can send it on Discord if you want, but is your not a good time more of the same bullshit you've been dealing with already, or something new? Well, I hope it's something that's easily resolved. We're usually not that lucky, but, you know, it would be nice if it were something more easily dealt with. Okay. Well. Oh. That is resolvable, but not in a simple way. That's also usually the results of other people being assholes. Which doesn't help, but it is what it is. Do you have much of a support network in a local-ish way that can help you with that? And with how shitty Sweden's been with being helpful in other ways, I have very low expectations of there being systemic help for you. That's more than fair. Fine. Fine. You. So hoping to wait until the end of the fight. There's always a temptation to look and see how close we're getting, with the knowledge that every time I check, it just slows down how long it's going to take me to get there. I do not have a good way of keeping count of how many Murphys I've killed since I've set out. I don't count tallying it up on a piece of paper on the side a good way. I could do that. I don't wanna. So there's always a bit of an internal, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Especially once I get to the point where I require healing. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? No, of course not. I also want EU open. Fuck it. $14 and change. So about 20 of them left. I set out needing to kill 78 Murphys for the one in front to level. So. That's how that's going. Oh, Zorb. Unrelated to that, there was the big winds that took out power in most of my state a couple days ago. There are big winds today in the UK, stirring up shit. Are those meant to migrate your way? Do you know? Yeah, I don't know if they're actually the same or a new storm that happens to be appropriately spaced as if it were part of the same. Just that we had them and now they do. And, you know, it occurred to me that those might migrate over towards you. get that done. And I am going to do that because I am going to, well, I have emptied 2 out of the 3 of the beverages. No, my water bottle needs refilling too. All 3 of them are empty and need refilling, so I'm going to get up, stretch a little bit, and refill. I would have to make more coffee, so that wouldn't be ready right away, but I'm going to do that. I'll be back briefly. Shortly? Shortly. back with beverages, and of course Discord beeps as soon as I come back. What are you? Which thing are you? Okay, nothing I need to be concerned about at the moment. Cool. And no update there. So we can get back to this. I did end up making more mocha. Because I could. Oh, Sorb. I hadn't mentioned it. My coffee pot broke. I don't know why the fucking thing gave out. The one before it, which was an older version of the same model. Yeah. Lasted for... I had it for 12 fucking years. And the only reason I needed to replace it was because the tubing itself had gotten brittle and broken down. Probably because the water quality here isn't great. So just accumulated brittleness and damage over time led to, oh, no, that's actually a hole in the tubing. It can't pump the water to do its job anymore. No, this one, the power itself, or just went. For all of a sudden, with no indication of what the fuck had happened, just, it doesn't power on or heat anymore all of a sudden. So, I have had to makeshift myself a way to do pour-through. Because it's not like I don't have carafes and reusable filters from that pot and previous ones. So, to make my coffee, I'm actually having to boil the water in a kettle and then do a makeshift pour-through. I do have the, I do actually have a pot for doing, where it's the kind of setup designed for doing cold brew in the fridge, but I haven't actually pulled it out and done that because I drink my coffee hot. Especially when it's cold out. So, yeah. But my carafe, my kettle boils water faster than a coffee pot perks it, so it didn't actually take that long to make my mocha. But yeah, I had that one for a couple of months when its predecessor lasted for 12 fucking years, so I'm not happy about that. It wasn't expensive, but the principle of the thing. Rude fucking lemon of a coffee pot. So, Zorb, you weren't here when I was discussing my plans for once that one in front does level. I'm going to do a brief and almost certain to fail experiment. Should not fail in a catastrophic manner. Just replacing the one fighter type I have with another secondary combatant to see if Murphy is manageable at all without one, because I want to be able to change that one's class, but no one else is ready to step into the role of fighter type yet. So, I don't expect it'll work, but I'm going to try anyway because I don't like wasting overflow XP. And I don't want to have to get her to level 13 in her current class before I change her. You don't get to keep the excess XP after you've leveled when you change your class. It's all wasted, and she would be wasting a few 100,000 if I wait until the others are ready. So I don't wanna, but I also don't expect that I can replace her with a thief. Not one without a lot more levels than that one currently has. So, again, I expect it to fail, but I'm going to try anyway. And then the 3 clerics are due to level not that long after she does. It's like a 3 Murphy gap. And then the ones in the back are gonna take a while before they hit level 13. And we'll be ready. But yeah, if you watch on the side, as I have intermittently, one, you will see that while the clerics do hit some, they don't hit often enough and do enough damage to be able to carry this on their own. 3 of them doing the work won't do it well enough. You will also notice, and that's why the video before last was titled "That's Not How You Wield a Flail," because it talks about thrusting and bashing and slashing, and it's not a sword. It's not a sword. It's a fucking flail. Most of those things that are not swings, it's not how that works. You certainly don't stab or thrust or chop with a fucking flail. Yeah. It is not weapon aware, that particular flavor text. watching this panel here, this is where I'm seeing the inappropriate combat moves. But yeah, keeping track here of just what the clerics were doing versus where the combat was as a whole is how I know that the clerics, even if they can get through Murphy, it will not happen efficiently enough to be useful. And I don't think a thief will cut it. Not without a lot more levels than the one I've got has. But I'm gonna try. Just to see. Fair enough. How large this is on my screen is going to be bigger than it would be on yours unless you were watching the stream full screen on yours. So that makes sense that it's not particularly legible in a video window. In the typical player sizes. Yeah. Also the way it would be squished to make it fit at a different scale. Because this is at a 16 by 9, and that is not. So it would be squished horizontally more, making the whole thing smaller. And thus, the smaller bits harder to read. What game? And what kind of mess up made you roll back? How much progress did you have to lose to get around whatever it was you were retconning? Oh. I have played other tycoon-type games, but they usually don't let you spend that much on research. Essentially, you know, bankrupting yourself. Well, some let you go into debt more than others. But also, I don't have experience with any that are less than a decade old. Closer to 2. So, yeah. Ones that are more realistic are gonna let you potentially fuck yourself over in more profound ways. Roller Coaster and Airline Tycoon would not have let me spend that much. And honestly, I don't remember what the finances were like in Zoo Tycoon. So it has more realistic consequences for shoddy, haphazard design that are gonna bite you in the ass. Because hell, even if you ended up killing visitors in Roller Coaster Tycoon, you could make that work to your advantage, especially if the ones that died were unhappy. Oops, they drown, and now they're not fucking up your park stats. So, yeah. Good. Some games. How much does it let you do with the game paused? some games only let you... Some games in that style are more limited in what they let you do when you're actually paused and taking time to think about the decisions you're making. Cool. How intuitive is the user interface? Clearly I'm asking questions that have made or broken the playability of games for me. Does it have a sufficient tutorial that teaches you how to use that interface? Ah. So it's in beta or early release of some form, and still a work in progress. And that's something that might get added in later. I mean, not that that's the update I'm running with, but the game I'm currently playing is on, like, 0.3. 0.31. I had actually looked into it, but grinding on Murphy, it's not something I needed to do, so I just didn't bother. Oh. Is it a small indie dev team that explains why it's prolonged like that? Motherfucker. Why do you not want to let me get to the end of the fight first? Yeah. Somewhat recently? If it's that far from release and it's been worked on for that long, how did you encounter it? Fair enough. are. Oh. We might need to top off more when we get back, if we encounter anything along the way. But I get to go back and level her and do a science that I expect to go very poorly. Actually, go back, level her, back up the save. Actual manager? In the FIFA style? Like, you do the actual management of the team, but also the play on the field kind of thing? I don't play sports games, so my context for them is limited. Only the managing part. Okay, well, I can... That is enough context to go with, depending on where you're going with that. So more like a video game version of People's Fantasy Football. Which is something, again, I only am aware of in the hypothetical. Yeah, of course you didn't get any. Good for you. I'm going to back up my save. Because depending on how poorly it goes, I may just load instead of slogging through a fight for fucking ever. But also I should back up anyway, because I'm back in town, and that's when that happens. There. Oh, okay. So basically, if I just did the engineering in Excel, that is a lot of what the game is. That kind of thing. Okay. Excel is something I'm familiar with. Okay. Oh, this is the first party I had made when I was playing on my own. Just for context. And they were only ever samurai. She was cleric for long enough to get the stats, which, in hindsight, was insufficient. I want everybody to have as much magic as possible. And then the ninja actually got all the cleric spells before she converted. And then I ran the wizards through all of cleric before I did them. But yeah, that was the first party I did, just getting to know this new system. And I'm catching up on the money they have, but I have more work here. I'm not going to change your class yet, but I am going to remove you from the party. Okay, so the other folks I've got, I have these two were my samurai. They are currently mages, and are getting there on learning all their spells before they end up as thieves, because that's what that role is, and this is the one that's already got all the mage spells and is currently a thief. She is not high enough level for me to think that this will go well. If that number were double what it is, maybe. But she's the only one I've got that I can put in that has a chance of having this work out at all, and I don't think it will. And my neighbor is noisy. You. And then we will get to rearrange the party order. You get to be in front. Lucky you. The clerics can wear better gear. Get that Aporphic on. Now, for the sake of facilitating this fight, I could have, well, anyone with mage spells cast to lower Murphy's, well, raise Murphy's AC by 2 for the fight. To give it a chance to go less poorly, or less slowly. Because an 8th level thief is a really shit substitute for an 11th level lord. That's not what I wanted you to do. You, Dilto will actually work. I've used it in the past, when everybody was squishy. So, it gives them a little bit of a better chance to hit, but I still expect this will go poorly. I could also lower our ACs more. But our ability to hit is the problem, more so than how much damage we might take. Yeah, a UI that's already not super user-friendly and informative, getting more obtuse isn't really conducive to understanding what the fuck is going on. So, that makes sense. Now, let's have that bar up so I can see how we're doing all the time. It's not like they won't be able to get through the fight at all. I just suspect that even with the magical assist, it's going to take an unreasonable amount of time. Because none of them are fighter types. And that won't change for a while. And I mean, if all three of you would hit every round, I wouldn't have to worry so much about the difference in the amount of damage you're capable of. Alas. Well, focusing on functionality is good. That wasn't great in amount of time taken, but it could have been worse. Wrong kind of a lass, but you can be the lass if you want to. That's up to you. I should be paying closer attention to how often the thief is hitting and for how much. Because that is the point here. The 3 clerics are only a couple of these fights away from leveling, so... Great, that doesn't even counteract the rounds of regeneration Murphy managed to do since the last time he was hit. That's... Well, no. Not that I expected it to. The first one was gotten through less poorly than this one. But, you know, are you even going to keep up with the regen is the point of concern. And they're not doing great at that, even with the magical AC help. Great, you offset some of the regen that has happened. You do actually need to get ahead on that, though. Oh, good job. At 18 rounds, he's half dead. For now. It is not a sustainable rate of return. But we're going to do the little bit of science for them to get enough for their level, because they were close behind. Tangential, if I had numbered them with Roman numerals, the thief would sort of be named MTI. Huzzah! And now the clerics are ready. Well, right now it's an MT1, but Roman numeral 1 is I, so it would be an MTI. Clerics going up a level will not improve their capacity as secondary combatants enough to matter. But I got the result I expected. A shitty one. And I have no idea how many more levels of Thief that one would need to actually be able to do that job usefully. But we get to heal. Fuck it, you're resting anyway. There. Oh, how close did you get? You weren't, I mean, you're lower level, and thieves level faster. Yeah, I was not going to go through that many of them. Nope. Nope. Okay, and you got Mahdi. Good. Oh. Yeah. You're working on that now because that's the job you get next. And the random can still suck. Oh, you also got Mahdi. There's a bunch of other spells you three should be getting. You did not get Mahdi. Of course you didn't. Of course you didn't. Rude. Sure. But yeah, the three of you are not going to be competent enough combatants to realistically be able to do that on your own. Which is unsurprising but disappointing because it would help things along. Because yeah, the gap between how many she would need to get all the way through versus how much they need to actually get to their level change and class change that comes with it. I ain't sitting through all of that, but that means I'm going to be wasting a lot of experience. And I don't wanna. I don't like it. I don't like it. 3 is ahead on hit points, but is behind on strength. And with no other functional difference, the ones that are stronger should be in the front, because they are more likely to be useful, more likely to be marginally more useful. Also, the one that can't cast Mahdi being in the front, because why not? It's not like the spell I would want you to use most, if I need to use it, is available to you. You're actually a thief, though. So, while you suck at dealing with Murphy and make that slow, oh no, there isn't any good way of getting encounters on the first floor that isn't Murphy. And I am not leaving the first floor. And it takes too much walking around in circles to try and provoke encounters anywhere else. So any time saved in how quickly we could dispatch other encounters is lost in the getting them in the first place. Maybe everyone else isn't going to be ready to level for a while. Maybe I will do a recording of the slog to try and have her in the party and Murphy her to her next level. That seems like a bad idea. I mean, this playlist is named what it is for a reason. But otherwise, I'm wasting a fuck ton of XP so that I can have her in the front row. They're all bad ideas. It's Wizardry. They're all bad ideas. But I'm not going to make that decision now, because I don't have to. I can just be done with this for today, because I got them to their next level. It would have been nice if all three of them got Mahdi, if nothing else. But I got them leveled, and I did my science and got the result I expected. So any other bad decisions I make can wait until tomorrow. Thank you, MTI and Zorb, for coming in and having kept me company through this. I will talk to you both at some point in other places online later.